Hey guys, just sitting here, just been up to the Lifeblood and made a donation, but we've also set up a challenge. We want to challenge all our Walking for Warriors community to jump on and start donating blood. Something we've been thinking about for a few weeks now, and we've put together a little bit of a thing. We've been supporting Bleed for Brent for the last few years with some donations, a fantastic cause, and I just spoke to Jenny Holland, who was Brent's mum, for the last sort of 10 minutes, which will be part of this video, and through that process, we wanted to, I started donating, so many people started donating to support the cause, and then come to realize just how important it is to donate and how big an impact it has. So we want to throw out the challenge to you guys to make a difference and step up and start donating if you can. Understand that many people can't for whatever reason, but we go and talk to the ladies first and make sure that that's not an option for you. Makes a huge difference. You're going to save someone's life. The mental benefits of it for yourself is so beneficial, knowing that you're making a difference in the world and contributing to this community that we all live in. We were talking, we just spent the last sort of hour and a half up at the Lifeblood talking about a few things, and obviously one of those things we touched on was around that mental health, and if you feel like you're looking for a way to support, and you might not be able to do so many things for whatever reasons, but you could donate blood, you may be allowed to. There's probably no reason you can't, and it can make a big difference. The other thing is they screen your blood, keeping an eye on you, making sure you're staying healthy. So we want to get in and get those checks done. The ladies up there will make you just feel amazing. You're number one to them on that while you're up there doing that, and they make you feel that way. And the other thing we've been reflecting on, obviously linking it back to our veterans and our military, is just how important donating blood must have been during the wars, and it'd be interesting to learn some statistics around how that whole process went. So if anyone knows much about that and can share it with us, I'd be very interested to know the process, even how it happens in modern day. We just touched on with Kerry up there that currently any of our blood stocks that is in excess, if there's any, or that's coming up towards expired, if it hasn't been used, it's all getting shipped over to Ukraine and being used in the war over there to support the injured population, civilians over there. So that's just an interesting fact, that none of it goes to waste. There's always a use for it somewhere. Quick and easy, get it done. We want to thank all the people that do it already. I know there's heaps of people in the group that do it. I started doing it, donating blood, because of people like Peter Henning, who's completed 2 endurance challenges and is a good mate. Hundreds of 150 plus donations. There's heaps of people. I won't go through all the ones I know, but jump on Facebook, follow Bleed for Brent. That's who we're supporting, that group of guys. It's all in honor of Brent making a difference in the world. But when you come up to donate, they'll link you through to Walking for Warriors group, and we'll have a little bit of a tally going, and let's see if we can make a difference in the community, guys. So hopefully the video works. If it doesn't, it'll just be a post with photos. And awesome. Thanks. I want to thank Jeff Morrissey for coming and being part of it today. His very first blood donation. He said he's been waiting or thinking about doing it for ages, and just hasn't been the right time or right place, and hasn't got there, and today he's made his first donation, and no doubt he'll be making many more. And Roy Henderson, thanks for coming down, mate, and draining a bit more blood out. So yeah, it's been a good day, positive way to start my days off. Makes a big difference, makes you feel great. So jump on board and let's support it, eh? Cheers. Hey guys, so we're going to do a bit of something different for Walking for Warriors. We want to do a big push on blood donations. So we're actually up here at the blood donation center. I don't know exactly what we call it, we'll work that one out, but a few of us are donating a bit of blood today. But I've invited Jenny up here to have a talk to us, and this is around a young fellow, Brent, through the GPC, and this is why I'm here to start with, and so many people donate. So I'm going to ask Jenny just to tell us a little bit about the importance of why we should be donating and how big an impact it has, and maybe touch on Brent, because we want you to understand just what it means for you to step up and roll your sleeve up. So thanks, Jenny. Thanks for coming out.
Hi. In 2016, our son Brent was a 19-year-old apprentice at the Ports Corporation, and he was diagnosed with leukemia. We were told to go straight to emergency in Gladstone, and he immediately fainted while we were waiting to be seen, and he immediately had multiple bags of red blood cells, and he got flown out to Brisbane that night. We were in Brisbane for 9 months with Brent when he was fighting, and when we were down there at the Royal Brisbane, we saw just how much blood was required, blood and platelets. He used to have a blood test every day to see if he needed a transfusion, and sometimes it'd be the afternoon and I'd be going, oh, why hasn't his blood got here yet? You know, he needs it today. And at a later stage of our journey, I guess, one of our nurses said that she actually used to work for the Lifeblood, and she said how hard it was because she was actually deciding who got the blood. She said in some instances she would have a bag of blood and go, does it go to the Children's Hospital, does it go to the Royal, does it go somewhere else? She was literally deciding who got that bag of blood. So for us, that was just my husband and I, and Brent, because he was sitting in the chair while she was telling us, and that was just a huge eye-opener. Before Brent got sick, I would donate, and then I'd get busy, or you know, you couldn't for a while, and you were very sporadic. But after that, and then after 9 months we came home, Brent was told that there was nothing more that could be done, and so we were having transfusions at the Gladstone Hospital. We'd go up several times a week, and he'd have platelets and he'd have blood, just to give him enough to get him through so he could enjoy the time he had left with everyone and still get out and go for a swim, and he just liked the simple things. And then after we lost Brent, we really made it a mission, because we saw just our son, how much blood and platelets he needed, and there's so many other people down there, and there was others, particularly others his age, that we met, and everyone's going through the same thing, and everyone needs all of those blood and platelets. And we just went, my God, we now know how hard it is to get that. It doesn't matter how much money we've got, we can't go and buy him some blood. We're relying on people to donate that out of the goodness of their heart for our son.
Must be a reality check to actually see it in real life.
Absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
Just once you're in, I mean, he needed them in Gladstone, and thank God it was there, O negative, sitting there waiting in case someone needs it. And then once you're in the oncology and the blood, especially blood cancers in Brisbane, and you just see the bags and bags and bags.
The volumes.
Oh, it's just huge. And then for all that we saw in the Royal, there's also the Children's Hospital,
yeah,
which has got exactly the same thing happening there. So we really made it a mission to, and this will be me forever until the day I die.
Yeah.
It's not just I'll do this for a year or two and then we'll just get busy with life again. To me, this was life-changing for us, so I need it to be life-changing because there's so many other people that are following in our footsteps, and you just want to know that you've done what you could to try and help those other people.
Yeah, so obviously like that suffering and sacrifice that yous have had to go through with losing Brent, the good thing that's come out of it, I guess, is the fact of the hard work that yous are doing and what yous are achieving with Bleed for Brent. Like, I wouldn't have donated without it. I'd thought about it for years that I should donate blood, and it was through work, that promoting of it, the hard work that they're doing out there, and then I see all the other guys that I know that donate blood, and we see it on Facebook with everyone that's donating. I think it's amazing, and that's why we wanted to step up, and I want to encourage like the Walking4Warriors community to get in and back that Bleed for Brent, and just see if we can get a few more volunteers to come and join us, and let's make a difference. It's the easiest thing we can do ultimately. Like, I walked in here, I fill in the questionnaire, within 5 minutes I'm drinking coffee and eating biscuits out of the fridge, and you got like when you're donating blood. And obviously we do the plasma and that as well. That's is important. And the good thing with the plasma is we can donate that every 2 weeks, I think, can't we?
Yes, I do 2 weeks.
Which is great. And then the blood's every 3 months, I think, isn't it? And
if you're in Brisbane and you're a healthy male, you can donate platelets, which is awesome, but you can't donate them north of just the Brisbane area because they don't survive and travel. But like, that's something that Brent had a lot of. So for any young guys in Brisbane that can do platelets, that would be fabulous.
Well, we've got them, so yeah.
And the other thing is the bone marrow donor registry.
Yeah.
If you fit into the criteria for that. Brent had a stem cell transplant from his brother. He was a perfect match, but we saw so many others. A lot of them come from overseas. When we were watching other people have their transplants, so many came from Germany because there was just not enough people on the registry in Australia that matched. And contrary to what people believe, it's not surgery and a big needle going into your bone anymore. It's really a lot like donating plasma. You just hooked up to a machine and it pulls the stem cells out just like your bag of plasma, and that's it. There's no surgery, there's no particular pain other than really very similar to a normal plasma donation.
Yeah, and like I registered for the bone marrow, and I hope that there's an opportunity to donate it one day. Like, I think it's that important. What's the there's a maximum age you can go on? It's only young, isn't it? I only just got on it.
Like 42.
Yeah, I think I jumped right on at the last minute, fortunately, which is a real shame. There must be a lot of people that want to be on that they can't be.
But once you're on there, you stay on there, and they can still use you. But you're supposed to be within that group to actually register for the first time. So if you can register early on, it doesn't preclude you from actually being called up and donating later on.
You're just on the register. So obviously, once we get into this, guys, if anyone's keen to donate blood, make sure if you're young, if you're under that age, talk to the guys when you come into the lab.
Healthy young males are just a godsend for the blood service. For platelets, blood, plasma and bone marrow, they're just the ultimate. Not that we don't obviously love everyone. But one of the things we did notice, a lot of Brent's friends then started donating, and it was just so nice to see the younger people coming in, because quite often before that I think a lot of the donors were older people or retired people. So it's so nice to see the young ones coming in and they're already racking up the milestones, and you go, well, if this is you going forward
they'll keep
for
doing
years
it forever.
and years, then that's just awesome. You really make a difference.
No, definitely. And I guess the other thing is coming here because the girls just make you feel so welcome. Like you're number one. I was talking about it earlier with John. Like, they know all our names, and after a couple of visits, and they just look after you like you're a precious person, because you are. Like anyone that's donating blood's saving lives and making a big difference. So
1 in 3 people will need blood, and 1 in 30 people donate. And Australia imports blood products from overseas. Hong Kong.